Yeah, a big round of hands, a big round hand for Jezebel. Because it wouldn't be happening without her today. She was the linchpin that made this happen. Because about a week ago I went to the organiser of the festival and said, there's no way we're doing it this year. And the reason I said that is because normally it's not just me. There's always two of us. It's like a myth, a legend. There must always be two in order to make the spoken word tent happen. And normally that person, well, originally that person was Jim Tom, who some of you may have seen earlier, and he's probably gone to take his commune with the gods out there somewhere. And then. As I said earlier, we run this thing called the Bardic Chair Contest, and in the 5th year, there's this little guy come up, very, very humble, very, very unassuming, and at that point, not the slightest bit drunk.
What?
And by the end of the day, he won the contest and was extremely drunk, which was pretty bad because one of the prizes was a bottle of mead, which I think his mum said, no, don't give it to him. Was it you?
No,
you were around then, weren't you? Yeah. And since then he became part of the organisation, and we just wouldn't have carried on without him. He's the injection of young new blood that we needed, and we saw that young new blood age and mature until he became the withered figure. No, until he became the fine stature, the stature of a man you see before you, and his beard grew to true bardic lengths. Well, he's left Northampton, he's moved to Cornwall with his beautiful lady and their beautiful baby and his beautiful mother and their beautiful dogs. They are a bardic family unit. But he's back for one weekend only, ladies and gentlemen. So please put your hands together for the 5th member of ZZ Top, and the 5th Bard of Northampton, Mr. Peter James Norman!
It looks like you've just come out of the end of Bill and Ted.
Time travels. It wasn't a train I got here. I just jumped in a phone box and everything was alright. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Peter James Norman. I am the 5th Bard of Northampton. That was alright, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a good time, and I had my times here, but I have left you, I have deserted you. I've gone to the sunny climes of Cornwall where it has rained constantly for the last month. However, I have attended the finest Charles Manson school for learning lookalikes. They show you how to grow the beard first. I've done that bit. Now I'm looking for acolytes. There's application forms if anybody's interested at the end. We only need a few bits of information, your name, address and credit card details. Okay?
Pick the drunk ones off round the edges, please.
I need to get like a better even like. I write a lot of things about lots of different things, but I kind of ramble as I do so. So some of the poems will start with a seemingly quite sensible theme, and then they will just divulge into nonsense. But hopefully some of the words will touch you somewhere in not any private places, but they'll touch your heart maybe, and you'll enjoy them. So I'm just going to start off. Storm whipped strata, silk white on child's eye blue, droving sheets of seemingly perpetual precipitation have passed, bright and bold. The sun hangs on this noon. I was here all along, just testing you. I've got you. I'll hold you. You and your brothers and sisters, and I'll spin you still. Venus, Jupiter and Mars. I'll burn on for a while. One faithful fire in a galaxy of stars. You can rely on those celestial mechanics, while life on this rock here is spinning and manic. Rise it will each day, each and every single morn, bringing light, heat and life, and the twittering on birdsong on that dawn. Blazing, too bright to laze your eyes upon, but in the eve it turns the sky, colours innumerable, as she slips below our horizon. Awakening people in foreign lands as we lay our heads to pillows, to climb from sheets drenched in sleep as she climbs into the heavens on the path that she follows. Before us and after us, she will burn, darker she will glow as she spins and turns a deep dark red and becomes supermassive, then to black, and her effects will seem far less passive. Consuming and hungry for all that she is given, swallowing everything as it's pulled beyond her event horizon, compressed and dense, and with pull beyond comprehension. Our giver of life now takes all as her compensation. I'm going to try, unlike Justin and Jim Tom, not to throw paper everywhere, but it's probably going to end up that I will do anyway. So a lot of changes have happened in my life. I've left here, I've become another thing, and changed and lots of stuff. So this is a poem called In Change, about things that are changing. Everything is in motion, the particles are infinite within me, the spaces between are larger than the elements of my body. How can one feel small when galaxies exist in the tip of each of your fingers? Perfect orbit electrons, quantum particles travel through and the mass does not hinder. In change, when all you built tumbles around you and you realise, what that for? In change, when the cold winter... Oh, I seem to have lost my microphone. Oh no. Oh, okay. In change, when you're in change, when cold winter comes, but soon it's melted by the coming of the summer sun. In change, when you tame that black dog and it becomes the lapping pup at your side. In change, when it cowers at the will of your might, tamed and it's brought to heel, but you remain wary as you remember it when it was a beast, but now it nuzzles you softly in sound sleep. Even though the dark hound seems tamed, the wolf will still bite the hand that feeds. In change. No way out. And all the doors are closed, just a corridor down a tunnel, and down it you must go. No lights, windows are barred, lost in a labyrinth, and these times are hard. Not a single hope or flicker of flame. And it's snake eyes for you when you roll the dice in this game. Life's a gamble and you always play for high stakes. One false move is all it takes. You dealt a bum hand and it seems to be played with weighted dice. And you still can't cash out, you have to play life. You get to keep what you make of it. And you lose what you don't. Those missed opportunities will always haunt you as ghosts. If you stay static, then things will only remain. You need to make it happen. You need to be the change. That bum hand may be just what you needed. All those losses that you conceded are actually gifts to give you purpose. Gifts of freedom, gifts of nothing. Gifts to learn from. Change is inevitable and 100% probable. And it's how you take it that makes the difference. Because you shape your world and each of your fragile little existence. Is he kidding? Or is he feeling? Does all he's supposed to do a cheap imitation? A semblance of living is very believable. Beneath the sheen of the inevitable, it's how he was raised. Stiff upper lip, smile and grin. Keep what's eating you inside so it consumes from within. To share is to show weakness. To love fully is to be hopeless. Out of control, he used to do, but he only managed it with a belly full of booze. Lose it and go wild every Friday night and pretend that he likes it. Many things brought him to this point and he just wanted to fit in. Part of the culture. Peer pressure, escapism and a good time. Self-destruction, body numbing, forgetting. The only way to feel fine. But he didn't. You see, he carved out the middle of him. The rot that lay inside of him hidden, it started to work its way outwards. And he started not only to slur, but lose his words. And then he lost them. He had no way to tell anyone what he was feeling, no way to say I've had a bad day and it's left me reeling. He couldn't put pen to paper. He was just staring, or couldn't make a cursor twitch, just staring at a screen of pixels and looking through them, eyes fixed. Inspiration used to hit him, square in the gut. He'd write with a passion that mattered so much. But now he had drowned that poor little thing. Inspiration was left just floundering. Out of his depth and unable to swim, drunk and disorderly, frail and thin, out of words and unable to write, sat up smoking till dawn light, sparking up butts from the ends of his last cigarette. Without this word release, he could get no rest. So the only way out was eject. Escape velocity plummeted. And that's when he upped and left. And he turned his back on everything. So, I have a beautiful baby girl sitting in that little buggy there. Nice little Laura Daisy. Aww. She's eating something as normal.
Got a biscuit.
Yeah, eating food. But when Alora was born, I found it really difficult to come and find words to describe the feeling of holding my child for the first time. And I just so struggled, but when I moved and I cleared all the stress from my head and reorganised bits in my life, it meant that I felt so holy and so much more for my baby girl than I've ever had before. I had time to think and focus on it. And I do write about her quite a lot, and it's not really a poem, so it's just kind of prose, I guess. Wrinkles round ankles writhe and twist with impossible flex. Supple muscles housed in a tiny shell. A giant now from when she was first held. She still smells the same. Warm, sweet sweat sticks sandy curls to her pale scalp. It's her first hair. Still thin, like that of angels or summer sunbeams breaking through treetops, all dusty and pollen laden. Caramel orange it turns as it clumps together after the evening's romping. Chaos of every kind. She dismantles plants, rebounds plastic balls off of our dogs' craniums as they turn round and run to squeals of glee. Thanks. And my partner Bean had not heard this one before this morning, was it? And then she cried, so she might be a blubbering mess in the corner in a bit. So,
I've got one.
so woken by heavy rain, beating hard, white noise on the window pane. Droplets of glass reflect the amber glow of the street light. The hiss of precipitation fills the empty night. Awake now when the squall subsides, and I now watch in the emptiness as the rivulets tumble and slide. Down the cold glass fogged with hot breath, and your loved ones snuggled in a comfy nest. You sit awake, guarding over your roost. These are the people and the beings who mean so much to you. Yours might be different, and mine's an odd bunch. You see, there's 5 of us who sleep together, and we share our love. 2 hounds sit, warming our feet, and they're always trying to sneak under the covers, but when you're that size, it's hard to be discreet. Me, the man, the father, the provider, the king of my castle, even though I have nothing but love.
Kurva, kiek tu vaikų apgausi, kiek tu nesąmonių, bardaus, įklijavęs, kas tu esi per du šūdas. Tu net neįsivaizduoji, tai tenės čia ką tu darai. Eik tik tais tu. Tu kaušė. Tu nuvažiavęs į Vilnių darai tu kitką.
The people that come from the mountains,
Aš iš Lietuvos atvažiavau, tu darai.
Who's insulted them?
Bet Jėzus,
Because earlier in the day, a
Kristus.
small poet had been to the village and slept with all their women. And drank all their drinks. Along came a big dragon, and he was really scary. He scared the wicked witch away. Blah! Blah! Blah!
Excuse me. Hello. She's come from Lithuania. It's my boyfriend's mum. She talks too much. Please don't take the piss.
Why was she shouting at the poet though?
I'll begin. The man, sitting, father, provider, the king of my castle, even though I have nothing but a kingdom of love. Girl beside me, eyes closed in the bosom of sleep, rolls over and mumbles nothings as she rides the swell of her dreams. Then comes most precious, the apple of my eye, the thing I made, and now this person will live on once I die. A little bundle of legs, all arms, and her tiny fingers move. A smile plays over her face, and I shush and I soothe any kind of nightmare, and I chase it away with hugs and kisses for her eternal from now until the end of my days. I want to build her a better future and take her away from all that could hurt her. But that's not reality, and that's not life. But I sure do feel blessed on this white noise night. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could maybe make a little walkway and let these lovely human beings through, including a bard!
Current bard.
The current bard of Northampton.
It's not like a current bard.
Not like a current bun, very different. Very different, he's more fruity. I tread in dead leaves, guided by white hounds, when winter hides once again. With dearest heart I heave the morning drudge from head. Crisp jack bites at my fingers, nimble fingers on a frosty dawn. Sunrise just peeks barely over the valley side and warms cool pools left by the night tide. Again, I preamble in half-light, tides of home draw me close. Tomorrow I will be the same once more. Tomorrow I will tread in dead leaves, guided by white hounds, when winter hides once again. I'm just hoping that that lady's gone away. Oh, she's gone. Go. Oh yeah, did she come? Yeah, she was shouting last year, I remember that.
I love her.
Why, yada. Everything seemed normal this morning. I got up wide awake and bright in the grey dawning. Tired eyes tried to focus on the alarm clock's face saying, "Wake up! Take notice!" It's an average morning, or so it seems, as I wrap my hands and parched lips around that first cup of tea, sit and tip my head back in the sofa cushion comfort and think of the day ahead and all it has to offer. Many things I know lie ahead of me, planned and the unpredicted catastrophes, but first thing, it feels like I can take them in my stride. Be a good citizen and hold my head up high with pride and say to the world, look at me, I'm doing it. I've dug myself out the quagmire of shit and I'm living. And it feels almost freely. The usual rules and regs still bind me, but I've controlled my demons that seemed so obvious, slayed the beast that made me monstrous. Everyone else couldn't really see them, because they had become me and we were one. But today, hell seems a little closer. Purgatory knocks at the door and I'm trying not to answer. Knock down ginger from those desolate children, self-loathing, hatred and the fear of fellow humans. All come and tapping at my door. And I thought that I'd see them, nevermore, nevermore. Here they come with their wry little grins, fangs barbed, beckoning. Let us in! Let us in! But I close my eyes softly and step away from the edges, tuck myself in and I reapply the bandages. Healing has not been easy for me or without its trials. And these little sods keep knocking and it's going to take a while. But I've started and I'm on the right path. I've still got sorries to say, but then when I've said them I can then look back and laugh. But not in that wild, uncontrollable way that I've become so accustomed, but with humility and lessons learned, and I will be humbled. I may have hurt you in the past and I may have even made you smile. I may have held your hands and I may have walked miles, drank with you and hazed myself out of existence in your presence, cried and laughed, and now it only exists in remembrance. But now I take each lesson as a memory as a lesson, a regret that I hope to learn from. I know that life means much more eventually, and even if I never find it, I intend to search for it perpetually. Yeah, should we do an old one? Or have I got a bit more time? Do an old one that is... I'll do. Can I do this without the mic? Is this one a practical one? No. I'll tell a story. Hold on. I'll tell a story. What have I hooked everything? This used to be my job. It is. I'm going to be ripped. The man of the mountain sat atop of his favourite rock and looked down at his growing flock. The forest of trees, these were his, as he sat with chin upon curled up knees, and he looked and he saw each of the leaves dance in the morning breeze. As it passed by, he petted his favourite and most faithful of hounds, a rather scruffy-looking creature, this scruffy grey cloud. The trees were his flock and the clouds his dogs, and all looked good as he sat upon his rock. The hounds the trees were growing and the hounds were at bay. The lie of the land is where he did lay his head down for just a few minutes on this, where he dreamt of his lands mile by mile, the dawn and the dusk and the wind as it did rush, and all of this brought a smile. But he's awoken with a start and a pounding heart, and the air was filled with screams. He looked down and all around he saw dying his trees. Little humans had arrived and cleverly devised that they should clear the way. The wilds were too wild, no place for a child, so they would build a motorway with a service station and shops and gas, but a play park for the kids, somewhere safe at last. No, the wilds were too wild, these babes would surely get sick if they were to run, jump and fight battles with sticks. So the man on the mountain whistled for his hound, such a dreadful sound, and the boom of thunder echoed around. After the humans went his pack to shower them, to bite them with lightning's attack. The sky was alight, and the sky was ablaze, but very soon the sun's rays called those tired dogs back home. And the man on the mountain sat alone, and he thought to himself as he sat down on his granite throne, and with one last final moan, he kicked at a rock beside him and he made it fall. But no one was there to hear it or see it. No one at all. The man of the mountain was at the end of his tether. And then, in the end, the man of the mountain lays down forever. Thank you. So I think a really big thank you for hearing my words. Yes. A really, really big round of applause is needed for Kezabel, and especially for Justin, who has managed to pull this tent together with a week's notice. Finally decorated by his bare hands, now sore and down to the bone, worn down. Oh, and with you, Penny, as well, did you have?
No, she wasn't here.
Oh no, okay, so lovely Justin has managed to pull this tent together and again allowed us to have a space to share our words with you guys. And we're going to hear from the current bard of Northampton later, are we? Yeah, fantastic. And oh, hello, this is my baby. Come on. Ah, come on. Yeah, that's for the just for the things.
We've been here so long, we've got another generation.
Look, isn't this now the Bill and Ted moment? Like, this is the perfect Bill and Ted moment. No, is it not? Right. With that, ladies and be excellent to each other.
God gave rock and roll to you. Gave rock and roll to you. Put it in the heart of everyone.
And with that musical interlude, I don't know what's happening next. Kezabel Poet. Oh, Justin can do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fifth bard of Northampton, Peter James Norman and Aurora. Yes indeed, yes indeed. Kezabel, oh really? Yeah. Excellent. We'll get Kezabel back up here just for visual effect, if nothing else. But thank you for staying in the tent. This is the spoken word stage brought to you by